you for coming today to meet me. It's really, really nice of you to agree to my invitation.
Thank you so much for inviting me. Well, what should we talk about today?
This is my podcast called Rice Pudding Project.
Okay.
Yeah, it's because when I was a little,
Yes.
my father always forced me to eat it and I hated it.
Okay.
So rice pudding for me is like an obstacle, it's like a metaphor for an obstacle. Because I hate it so much, like I have to overcome that
Yes.
to get better on the other side.
And did you?
Yeah. I think I did, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't eat it anymore.
Okay.
But yeah, but today we're here to talk about your obstacles.
Okay. My obstacle. We're keeping that. Love it. Thank you, Janara. Janara Jones.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Rice Pudding Project.
Thank you.
Okay, so that was fantastic. That was great. I know you because we're on the comedy circuit. Let's say we've performed together doing stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
Wow, don't sound too excited about that. Jesus Christ. But for the people at home, the public at home, you are a fashion designer and mum of two.
Yes.
Am I right? Okay. So.
Well, I would say that first of all, I'm an artist.
Okay.
And fashion designer is a second, because the idea of my fashion design brand, my fashion brand,
which is called
Janara Jones.
Okay.
Is basically because I take my art and I put it on fabric, different types of fabric.
Yeah.
And I make clothes out of that fabric. So basically, it's like I really like bright prints. And I could never find what I really love, like in the market.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck it, I have to make it my own.
Now you said you put your designs on fabric and make clothes out of fabric.
Yeah.
But isn't that how you normally make clothes, out of fabric?
No, I put my art, so I print my art on the fabric.
Okay.
And then I make clothes out of that fabric. So this way, my art, like all the prints that you see on my website, janarajones.com, by the way.
Yeah.
If you go there, like all the prints that you see are mine. Apart from that, I also create fabric and design fabric for other brands.
For other clothing brands?
For other clothing brands, because again, like not everyone has their the capacity or to make their own fabric. So they have to work with what's available in the market. And Dubai is famous for textile. Obviously, we have lots of textile markets and everything. But smaller brands, smaller local brands, they don't always have the the ability to like create their own. Because the fashion designer doesn't mean an artist, right? And
I have no idea. I'm learning now.
Yeah. So I have a very unique set of skills.
Okay.
I will find you.
Yes, exactly. It's gonna say. So along with your name.
Yeah. So basically, I can draw, I can paint.
Yeah.
I can print the fabric. Yeah. I can actually do the pattern and make clothes. I can sew as well.
When you print on the fabric, are we doing like the silk screen kind of painting?
No,
printing?
digital printing. Yeah. Digital printing. So it's just like a regular printer, but instead of paper, it's fabric.
Really?
Yeah. It's actually very good because it doesn't doesn't run, it doesn't stain, like it's exactly the colors that you want, and it's very good. Everyone is doing it these days. I mean, there's still obviously the traditional.
In my day, we did something called batik.
Yeah.
You know batik?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like.
I know,
way
but
back in the day.
People still do this traditional way of coloring fabric.
Yeah.
And that is
ancient. I know what you're gonna say.
No, that is more. I would say like a lot of people actually prefer that. Like for example, let's say some of the bigger brands, they use like pure silk, and they would do screen printing on them. Okay. Or even the tie-dye technique, like there's so many.
Tie-dye, they still do that?
Yes.
But tie-dye is like so 80s.
I know, but people still but tie-dye doesn't mean the actual tie-dye is the method of printing.
Oh, okay.
And anyway, but what I'm saying is that that would be so much more expensive because that requires a lot of human labor.
Yeah.
And also when you work with chemicals and you as human, you actually paint it, it's not good, like all the fumes and so. In digital printing, you just print on the printer.
And it's more
push the button, that's it.
More accurate.
Yeah, of course, yes. And I mean, I'm not gonna like sit there and paint on the fabric, hundreds and hundreds of meters of.
So you do it on like an iPad, then you upload it, and then that's it. Or something along those lines?
Well, for example, the cat's print is a hand drawing.
Okay.
And sometimes I use iPad as well, so I have digital drawings. There's so many different ways,
How'd you get into fashion?
So I always knew how to sew. My grandma taught me how to sew when I was little,
Okay.
and I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
But when first time I came to Dubai 16 years ago, I really loved the way women dress here. The kaftans and all of that. And I really wanted that for myself as well, and because I thought it not only is like respectful to the local culture, but also I thought it was very stylish. I really liked the way it looked, but I didn't like the colors and some of the prints and. But I did start to I want something unique. So I started sewing because I had a sewing machine. So I started sewing, just making some for myself. But I had to use the fabric that was available in the market. So I'll go to retail markets like Satwa and Deira and buy some. And then people at work started asking me to make them for them as well. So I was like, okay, let me. So I was just doing that. And I didn't have a space or anything. I lived in a sharing apartment, so I only had that one bedroom. So during the day I'd work in the office, and at night I'd be sitting there on the floor with my little sewing machine that I bought in like Sharaf DG or something, or even Carrefour for like 500 dirhams. So I was like making clothes made to order for some of my friends, some of my colleagues.
Yeah.
And then it's like became a thing, like I was like, oh.
So you didn't study it?
After that I did.
Oh, after that you studied?
Yes, after that I did, because I was like, okay, if I want to make it a business, I have to actually study.
Okay, but you always drew, like you were always, like as a child, you were...
Oh, as an artist, yeah. So my father was an artist.
Okay.
And I was basically born with this talent. I could draw before I could do anything else. And he was very talented, but he was in Soviet Union, being artist was not a thing. You couldn't really make money out of it.
Okay.
So
that's where you were born.
Huh?
That's where you were born.
That's I was born. My father actually he worked in a funeral home. He was engraving people's portraits on the marble gravestones.
Really? Like chiseling?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Because back in the day they didn't have the machines to do that.
Yeah, of course.
So he was the one doing that. I asked my mother, I was like, oh, how come we don't have any of Dad's paintings? She's like, yeah, you can go to the cemetery and see his work. I was like, all right.
Janara, I was going to ask you, Janara means fire?
Yeah.
Where does that name come from?
It's Kazakh name.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. So it's basically, it's Janar. Yeah.
Okay.
So Janar has a lot of meanings. One of them is fire or a spark.
Life?
No. Anything like it's to do with light and fire.
Okay.
And we actually in Kazakhstan we have this saying. You know how like English people they say apple of my eye?
Yeah.
It's the Americans.
Oh,
One of the white people, they say apple of my eye.
I'm British, I know. It's the apple of my eye.
It means like someone dear to you.
Yes.
So we say that. So we call that Janara.
Okay.
So but it's like that. That the light in your eye.
Yes.
That's what.
I think in Farsi they also say Janaman. That's
my soul.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have Janam. Yes, we say Janam.
Okay, so sorry, I was just trying to be like,
that's my soul, so not to be confused with...
Well, they also say Jigaraman, which means my kidney. So I don't understand.
Oh, we say Baurum, which means my liver.
What? You know what? Jigar might be liver.
We say Baurum, my liver, but it's usually about your children or someone younger. Yeah. Janarum is more about your love. Yeah, your love. And that's why in a lot of songs, in Kazakh songs, they have my name.
What were your dreams then growing up?
The number one was I absolutely had to live abroad. In a country, in a place where people speak English. Well, at the time, I thought New York was the place. I still do like it very much. Because
of fashion?
No, because I always felt like I would fit in there because it's very diverse. You can be weird, you can be yourself. Growing up, I didn't know any other country. I only knew there was India because we grew up on Bollywood movies, yeah.
Okay.
And then I knew there was America.
Okay.
That's it. Growing up, I think a lot of people that are they're born and raised in the 90s, in general, especially in our cultures, have anxiety. They just don't know about it. Like we're like scared of our parents. Like we were always taught to be like, oh, you have to be good at school, or you can never be late to anything, and then you go and you're like fucking, shaking. Oh my God, I'm late. Oh my God, I didn't do my homework. Oh my God, it's like they shame you, right? And that's what anxiety is, when you're like so worried about that someone's gonna find out.
You have that now?
I don't, because I'm heavily medicated.
For anxiety?
for depression and for anxiety. But the thing is that I've also, because I've been living with it for so long, and that's the thing. I never say that I'm struggling with it or fighting it or battling depression. No, I live with it. I managed to make it a friend, let's say, because I know that this is something that doesn't go away. So you have to just recognize the signs, and you have to learn the tools that you can use to deal with it. So that's a sad part. A lot of people live with this kind of disorders and they have no idea. They just think that life sucks.
But how do you deal with that and have children at the same time? Because being a parent, raising 2 kids,
it was hard. It's still hard. I mean, as a parent, because I am a very confident person in everything I do. But as a parent, as a mother, you're never 100% sure. You always think you're doing something wrong. You always think you're fucking your children up. You always doubt yourself because they don't teach you how to be a parent, right? You have to learn on the go.
Who's going to teach you?
Nobody. But apparently, your parents are supposed to, but we try not to be our parents, right? We try not to be like
I do the opposite of what my dad did.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So I constantly doubt.
Doesn't that make you a good parent as well?
The fact that you worry about it?
Yeah. If you're not checking, you're not doubting, you're not seeing, then you're just going with the flow.
You also have to realize, you have to understand quite early on that you'll never get everything right. So you just try to do your best. Because what happens is that as a parent, as any adult person, we have to make thousands and thousands of decisions every day. What to eat, what time to get up, what to wear, blah, 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 all of this. Yeah. Imagine you have to make all of those decisions also on behalf of the other person, on behalf of this little person that depends on you.
Yeah.
So you have to always, you can't think and you can't stop and think about all of that and try and weigh in all the options, and you go crazy. So you have to try and make your life as simple as possible. And the problem also is that now there used to be no information. Now there's too much information. So yeah, about the parenting and what to do and what not to do, and then you'd be like, oh my god.
But then you choose what's the best thing for you. You decide whether or not this style is better, that style is better. No matter what you're gonna do, your kid is gonna at one point or another in the future complain about you.
Yeah.
And you as a parent were gonna think you did a great fucking job. Like me, I'm gonna say I did a great job raising my son so far. I've done better than my father did before me. But when this fucker is 18 years old, he'll probably complain and be like, oh, you know what? My dad didn't make me struggle enough. He gave things too easy to me. He didn't kick my ass enough. He didn't push me.
Yes, but the good parenting is not whether your child will complain about you or not. It's how he deals with that. So your job as a parent, not to make sure he doesn't complain about you, but to make sure he has the tools, the emotional intelligence to overcome this, to get better on the other side, and to also understand that nobody is perfect.
This is beautiful.
So, for example, if you teach your child compassion, empathy, if you explain to them that everyone is different and you can't expect everyone to be like you, they will also understand that about you.
True.
Obviously, my mother did the best she could with the tools that she had. We were very poor, okay? And she was a single mother. And I could have a million things to be, to resent her for. But given the circumstance that she was in, me being an adult now, an emotionally intelligent adult, someone who also has her own kids, I understand that, she did the best she could with what she had, with the information that she was, with the tools that she had. And she's her own person. I am my own person. She did her way. I'm doing my way. We are different. Nobody is better or worse. The same goes for everybody else. And when you understand that, that's the emotional intelligence. When you let people be. If you completely disagree with someone, you let them be, and you just, stay away from them if it makes you uncomfortable. That's why, for me, the two things that I will never tolerate is homophobia and racism. These are two things I will never tolerate. And I don't want that around me. I don't want that energy around me, because that actually hurts other people. But if you're doing you and you're not hurting anybody else, do you, So, and also, I also at the same time don't believe in, for example, a lot of a lot of like people around you would think that you are not doing a good job with your kid or something, and then they but they shut up and they will never say anything because
Yeah.
like, who am I to say it? When I see that something is really wrong, I'm gonna open my mouth and I'm gonna talk about it, because that person might not agree with me and they might hate me forever for saying it, but they will at least think about it, you know. And I do that with my friends, and I also encourage them to do that with me. If you ever see that you think that I am doing something wrong and I don't see it myself when it comes to my children, you have to tell me, because at least I can stop and think and analyze. Maybe there's a better way to do it.
Okay.
Yeah. So the whole, do you know what bystander effect is?
No, I don't.
So bystander effect is basically, it's a psychological term.
Yeah.
So what happens is, like, for example, let me ask you, let's say you're driving on the highway
Yes.
and there is someone broken down on the side.
Yes.
You know, clearly, maybe they need some help or
Yes.
whatever.
Yes.
But there is hundreds and hundreds of cars
Yes.
around. You just keep driving because you think that probably someone already called. They probably called the police. If you are alone driving,
Yeah.
there's nobody else, and you see someone struggling on the side of the road,
You stop.
you are so much more likely to stop.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's the bystander effect. When there's too many people around, no one does anything.
Also, if it's too hard to get to the person.
Yeah. So what happened was, in 1967, this girl, I remember her first name was Kate. I forgot her last name. It was in U.S. She was coming home late in her apartment complex, and she was stabbed, raped, and killed right there at the doorstep of her house. And the whole thing was happening for at least 40 minutes. The whole building heard her screams.
Because she was screaming help.
They saw it. No one called the police. And when the police came later and they asked the neighbors, they said, well, I thought that someone else already did. I thought someone else called the police. No one called the police, and she died. She could have been saved. Since then, because of that case, it became a crime not to call the police if you see someone in distress. So that is bystander effect.
And I think they also told people that if you're being attacked in that case, don't shout help, shout fire. Something crazy like that, because people are more likely to call an ambulance or for help for fires than help.
Yeah.
It's something ridiculous.
Yeah, it is ridiculous. I know. But that's what happens. Like that is called bystander effect, and this is what happens in our world on a big scale, right? None of us do anything about something that we think that someone else is doing it.
Or what can I do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But actually, I also think about business. You know, a lot of people can think of a brilliant idea. Oh, maybe like this is a great idea, but then they don't do anything because they think it's so obvious. I'm sure someone's already done it.
Yeah.
But it's actually actually no one's like, because now we have a lot of things that we use, a lot of tools that we use on a daily basis, like Deliveroo, for example, Uber, whatever. How many thousands of people you think thought of that before it actually happened?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I also think is a bystander effect, when you think that someone else already done something. So what happened to me many years ago, I was working in a 5-star hotel in Dubai, and I saw this man hit his child really hard. He slapped him so hard, and the child was like maybe 4 years old, that there was echo in the foyer. And I was so shocked. I was very young. I was so shocked. But then he just, the child was crying. He just dragged him away. Until now, I cannot forget, and I cannot forgive myself for not saying anything. Because, why are you looking at me like that?
No, because I would know what I would have done in the situation.
I cannot do anything in that situation. If there's domestic violence happening, it will continue to happen. Maybe it will be even worse after, I intervene or whatever. The most important thing is that child needs to know that it's not normal. Because if his father hit him in front of all these people in the foyer of the 5-star hotel and no one done anything, what does the child think? Oh, I guess he has a right to do it. I guess that's normal. No one's ever going to do anything.
Yeah.
And that's what happens in most cases of like domestic abuse. Everybody knows no one does anything.
Yeah.
So then the children grow up thinking no one's ever going to do anything.
Yeah.
So they just they go on like this, and then they go from abusive home to abusive home, but
not necessarily that.
Not necessary, but it happens a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm
The
saying is
abuser
that
becomes the abusee, but yes.
yes, but
Yes.
so
but
what
not
I'm,
always, yeah. But I understand what you mean, yeah.
but it doesn't happen if the person knows that that's not normal and there's a way out. But if no one said to that child, no one ever even tried to protect him.
I went through it. No one protected me.
Yeah, but you growing up, you knew that this is not normal and you
No.
never want to be like that, right?
I knew that. I knew that only later, yeah. But growing up, no one stopped it. No one said anything.
But they all knew.
Yeah. Uncles knew, aunts knew.
Yeah.
You know, you get the shit kicked out of me all the time. No one said anything,
Yeah.
and no one stopped him. His older brother saw it happening. My dad used to whoop me all the time. Never stopped it. Knew it was happening.
Yeah.
Nothing at all. Acted as if it was normal. And yeah, that was it. And then I remember growing up, getting older, not wanting to have kids, not wanting to get married, because that was my way of breaking the cycle. Because if I don't, because it was like, oh, his dad did it to him, and then he did it to me, and so on and so forth, you know? So it was like, well, that was just part of life. So I was like, okay, no problem, then I won't have a kid, and I won't get married, and then it was just stop the cycle, because if I don't have any child, I'm not going to beat my child.
Yeah. So let this die.
So
with
let
me.
this die with me.
Yeah.
And, you know, and then I had a child, and, you know, I married a 5th-degree black belt in karate, and, you know, when I joke around with my son and I tell him, you know, I might smack your butt, he looks at me and he says, how do you think mommy's going to feel about that? You know, and he tells me she'll give you a roundhouse kick.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're right.
Yeah. Well, time is different, you know. As I said, like growing up, you remember my joke, right? Growing up, you're so scared of your mother.
Yeah.
If she tells you that she's going to kill you, you actually believe it.
Yeah.
And you think that, yeah, she has a full right to me. She will say, I gave you life. I can
take it away.
But now, if I say something like this to my children, they'll call the police. And my children are British. They have British passport. They'll go to them. There's absolutely nothing I can do to them.
They have more rights than you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One time I remember I told my daughter, I was really pissed at her. I was like, you know what?
The 6-year-old.
Yeah. I said, one day you'll grow up and I'll kick your ass. And then she's like, Mommy, that's not nice to say something like that. I'm like, oh, God, now I want to do it even more, you know, because with her British accent and everything. But yeah, so I think, and that's why I've been thinking about it a lot lately. You and I, our generation, is a huge breaking point, turning point in the whole of humankind.
You think so?
Every
generation?
No, our generation.
You think
especially,
so?
Yes. We are the last generation that remembers what life was like without internet. That's one thing. Without internet, without cell phones, we're the last generation. Yeah. And our children is the first generation that has the parents who remembers what life was like without internet. So there's a lot of things that need to stop with us. A lot of things need to end with us. Because now we have the information that our parents didn't have. And experiences and education, like people didn't used to travel as much as we do. People didn't used to be exposed to so many things as we do.
I think they can they don't have to travel to get the information is the difference now. Whereas
that's
before,
another thing. You don't have to travel to get the information, and there's so much more, freedom of speech, and then less and less, which I'm very happy about, people care about other people's opinions.
You think?
Less and less. We're becoming more and more individualistic.
You think so? I don't think so, because just going back to people looking younger, or trying to not to look younger.
Yeah, no, that's different.
People are worried about.
That's different. Yes, that's appearances. What I'm saying is that growing up, it was all about what will the neighbors say, what will the relatives say. You know, you always have to keep up the appearances, even if at home you're like poor or is broken or is dysfunctional. When you go outside your house, your neighbors have to think that everything is great. So now it's different. People actually talk about their problems, you know, and also like they don't care so much about their relatives or neighbors or all of that, you know. And because you can't really hide anything as well. Everything is out there in the social media. We were very lucky that we didn't have that. But what I'm saying is that the people express themselves more and more, express their opinions, and actually more freely go against the status quo. For example, divorce used to be shameful. Now people are like, actually, life is short. You know, I want to be happy.
I think it depends on the cultures. I think it depends on where you grow up. Like where I grew up in my school, most of the children came from broken homes, divorced parents. In my class, most of them.
But it was frowned upon. People always feel sorry for you if you were divorced, especially if you were a single mom and all of that. It's not the case anymore. And also women now more freely can actually, like, they're much more independent. We work, we make money.
Yeah, for sure.
We are so much smarter than men. We're so much more
but that's not
resilient.
now. That's always been the case.
Yeah, but now we actually talk about it, you know, the women empowerment and all of that. I think we did go a bit too far to the other side sometimes, but yeah, I mean, it's a great thing because I can now because I have a son and I have a daughter, yeah, and I am all for raising them equally.
What does that mean?
So basically, when I was growing up, I had a brother.
You have a favorite. Let's be honest. You have a favorite.
It's not about the favoritism. What
you
I'm
do
saying
have
is
one.
that, yeah.
I see. Okay, just checking.
But that secret will die.
Yes.
With me, yeah. I'll take it to my brother.
But you grew up with a brother.
So I grew up with a brother, and in our culture, so my mother and my
be-
relatives also like, okay, as a boy, you're not allowed to cry, you're not allowed to hit girls, you always have to, be strong, you have to be a provider. When you grow up, you will be, our hope, and you will make all our dreams come true. And as a girl, you're a girl, you have to wash the dishes, you have to clean the house, you have to cook, you have to look like a girl, you have to have long hair, you have to wear dresses, you have to be polite, you have to be clean, you have to like this and this and this, like all this. And then as a girl, when you get married, you have to do this and that. All of those things, I hated it so much. And what happened? I grew up and I had all the life skills that I needed to go on my own because I could take care of myself, because I've been taking care of everybody in my house since I was 6 years old.
Okay.
I started cooking when I was 6.
Yeah, 6?
Yes, because my mother was working 2 jobs. Someone had to feed us. We didn't have Deliveroo. We didn't have money for Deliveroo. So I started like cooking and cleaning and washing the dishes and doing the laundry since I was 6 years old.
Okay.
I had to do it. My brother never had to do it because he's a boy.
I mean,
so he grew up and then he went out on his own, and he didn't know how to take care of himself, And on top of that, he had all this pressure on him.
To be a provider.
To be successful. Because in our culture, successful means you have a successful career, you have money, And we have this stupid term, successful. So, like, for example, they would say, oh, she's so lucky, she successfully got married. Which means that she married into like a good family, a guy who has money and all of that, And I'm like, that's so stupid. The definition of success is basically when you want something to do and you succeed. I want to drink this water. I'm going to take a drink. I succeeded in drinking this water. Success is basically anything you want and you get it done. That is success. It's not about the money and the status and all of that. It's not. You are successful. Everybody has a different definition of success, obviously. In my head, we have to teach our children is the most important is to be happy. Please be happy and be a good person.
What does that mean for you?
For me?
Yeah. Being happy.
Being happy. First of all, doing what I love.
Which is art.
Which is art for me, yes. Which is art for me, my business, doing what I love. And also, since I was little, I always hated to do what I was told. Always go against the grain, I always questioned everything. Why is like this? Why do I have to do this? Why do I have to do this? Why do I need to brush my teeth every day? Why do I need to clean? The thing is that if I got a reasonable answer, then I was okay, fine, I understand.
I used to get a reasonable answer whenever I asked these questions. It was two things.
Because I said so.
Exactly. Followed by Shah.
Yeah. So obviously it's exhausting for your parents when you keep asking them why. Like, oh, you can never be late. Why? Why can't I be late? What's gonna happen? I couldn't understand this. Oh, you need to have grades, like good grades.
Doesn't your daughter ask you these questions and your son asks these questions all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah, and doesn't it drive you crazy?
Yeah.
But isn't it better that they ask you?
Yeah. Absolutely. And I try my best to answer as much as I can. Like, for example, if my son asks me, why is the sky blue? To the best of my knowledge, I will try and explain.
How old's your son?
4.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is that raising them equally is that I want them both to have the same life skills. They both have to be intelligent. They both have to be smart. They both have to be strong. They both have to be resilient. They both should be able to express their emotions. If they want to cry, they should cry. It's just I was very lucky that my boy is very boyish and my girl is very girlish. Yeah, so I don't have to worry about that.
There's nothing with crying, but I think for a reason, like to a certain point, like there's just crying for crying's sake is just BS.
Yeah, of course. That's sometimes they cross the line. Like my daughter is so sensitive. She's so manipulative. Like she would be like crying for no reason just to get what she wants.
Yeah.
But as a parent, you have to recognize that, Also, the one thing was not allowed in my house is if you do get upset, you have to quickly get over it. You know what I mean? You are not allowed to sulk for too long.
Is that good or bad thing, you think?
That's a bad thing, of course. You have to be allowed to. If you really got upset about something, you
express yourself, but how much you want to sulk for?
No, I'm talking about like physical pain and shit like that.
Oh,
like,
shit. Okay, that's different. Okay, so I think I lost the game of tennis and you're like crying about it for 3 hours. No, toughen the fuck up. Like you lost at Uno, just do better next time.
That's
it's
different,
okay. Yeah.
So obviously as well, there's a different age for everything.
Yeah.
And then, but if you allow your children to express their emotions and to also feel their feelings and try to explain to them why they're feeling a certain way.
Yeah.
Then they can grow up having the tools to deal with it, to deal with their
very
emotions.
Valid. No, those are very valid things. That's very, very true.
So there's one thing that I really want to talk about.
Tell me. Meaning of life.
One thing that people don't talk enough about, I think,
is
especially in
how
this
funny
part
I
of
am.
the world, is men's mental health. So what happens is that, as I said,
you're talking about like depression or
up, oh my God, it's the anxiety, it's the pressure of the society, like my brother, he grew up in this, and also he's in military. He was in military for 15 years. So another thing, not only you have to protect your family, you have to defend your entire country. Like there's a lot of responsibilities they put on guys from very young age, and that's why they're very prone to like cardiovascular diseases. Like the stomach issues and weight gain. And there's so many things because they're
just
never
calling out
allowed.
my issues now.
They're not allowed because they keep everything to themselves. Us women, we process shit. Anything happens to me, I'm gonna call my friends. I'm gonna call the entire concilium of my friends, and we're gonna sit down and we're gonna talk everything about it for hours and hours, and we let it all out.
But do you let it all out?
I always let it all out. I never keep anything to myself.
Okay, but then like let it go, or do you just keep on bringing it up again and again?
No, that's the thing. The more you talk about it, the easier it becomes,
Yeah, men don't do that.
Men don't do that, unfortunately.
Yeah, but because we don't have girlfriends to talk about it with. Because guys don't want to talk about it.
But that's the thing. They should. And they should talk about it. There should be a way to talk about it. And also, it's the parents that put this pressure on men. And then the wives put that pressure on men, And then, oh my God, I have to provide. I have to do this. Which is great things to think. To be strong men, to be a provider and all that. But when you're constantly thinking about it, you're constantly anxious about it, it becomes so much harder. Like we need to teach our boys that, for example, if my son wants to become a zookeeper because he loves animals, and then he becomes that, he is successful. That's what he wanted to do. He loves what he's doing. He just has to learn to to live accordingly. But if you want to be a zookeeper and you want to drive a Lambo, that's not going to work. So you have to understand what's more important to you. So what I'm saying is that we need to teach our children, including boys, to be happy with themselves, to be happy with what they are. If they're not happy with what they are, we need to teach them how to change that. Not sit around and just be unhappy, and complain. I know very few happy, rich people. I'm talking about very rich, there was a study, there's actually a certain amount of money that you can earn per year, and then if you go above that, you're no longer happy.
I heard that, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't reached that level of money yet. I'm trying to get there.
I read it. I think it's something about $2 million per year, and if you're an entrepreneur and a company not a size of 7 to 12 employees, not more than that. The moment you get too many employees and too much money, the stress overcomes the happiness, the joy. So then
if you have people that have this much more money and are very stressful, I suggest, just an idea, they give me the money, the 2 million, to reduce their stress, and
Yeah.
then I will tell them how happy I am.
Yeah.
And then it could be a study that we,
Yeah.
do for universities to show that he's got 2 million, he's happy.
Yeah. So that's another thing. Like this, I look at my children and I think, I remember myself, because my kids, and obviously your kid as well, no, obviously like probably every kid in Dubai,
Yeah.
they have everything. They have lots of toys, they have lots of friends, they go to nice schools, they have lots of clothes, they live in safety, they have food.
Yes.
All of those things.
Yes.
Growing up, if I ever got a toy, a new toy, oh my God, that would be like, if I got a toy that was packed in a package, like a new one, the joy, the excitement would go for weeks. I would be so happy about it.
But is that a bad thing now that our kids have more? That's the whole point of working, right? To make sure our kids have more.
Oh no, it's absolutely a good thing that they don't have to
But
struggle.
they don't appreciate.
They will never feel that same joy.
Yeah.
And it's just, I feel sad for that, but at the same time, obviously I'm very happy that my kids don't have to, they don't need for anything, they have everything they want. But it's getting hard to entertain them, man. It's like
I have some ideas for you. There's places we go. We can exchange war stories and ideas.
Yeah.
Because birthday parties are hard. So
oh God.
we have a
Tradition?
thank you.
Okay.
See, I've just completely, we were talking about IQ. Like my IQ is reduced now. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's because as the heat has just like dehydrated me, my brain cells, everything. We have a
I have this
tradition.
effect on people.
You have this, yes. You overshowered,
People
showered
always
or showered
People always think stupid, feel stupid around me.
in your presence.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. I
Can be
feel
very
stupid.
intimidating.
Yes, very intimidating person. The tradition is a wild question. Okay, within these tins there are questions. You choose a tin. I will read out the question for you, and you will answer it to the best of your abilities.
Look at this.
I'm looking.
What feelings does it bring?
This bag reminds me of my childhood, of Chronicles of Narnia.
Yeah.
So please tell me about this bag, how you made it, everything.
So this is one of my signature prints. Actually, this was a hand drawn, hand painted painting. And then I basically because I'm a pattern designer and print designer,
Okay.
so I do a lot of my work by hand.
Yeah.
And then I printed on the fabric. So I have also clothing, the set, like shorts and the shirt for men
Same style.
in the same print. Yeah.
Okay.
And the original is actually in my house. So I never sell my original paintings because I'm planning to become a global name, and I want my children to inherit the paintings because they will be very valuable when I die. So I only print stuff, and so I have these bags, and I also have the same in leather. You can actually check it out on my website,
Leather?
janarajones.com. Yeah.
And all the collections are available on your website.
On my website, yeah. On my
Okay.
website.
Remind us again what it is.
janarajones.com.
Okay.
It's Janara Jones. Jones is my husband's last name, so that's why it became my last name.
Okay.
And then you can also reach out on Instagram at Janara Jones. I'm the only Janara Jones.
Okay.
There's no other.
No one else.
Yeah.
One of a kind.
Yeah. And so basically this what happens. What I like to create, if you look at my artwork, you will never see anything that is realistic or real or already exists.
Okay.
So I always add my own flair, like obviously the colors are not true to life.
How long did it take you to draw this?
Weeks.
Weeks.
Yeah. This little fella is an octopus. Octopus is my favorite animal. I find them
Why?
really interesting. Well, because they're super intelligent. They have 8 brains and
They have 8 brains?
yeah, that's 8 more than you. And they have lots of hearts as well. Did you know that octopus can sleep and still feel around with one of their tentacles? In their sleep they can still be if something passes by, they'll catch it, because they have separate brains. So while they sleep, one brain is sleeping, the other ones are working, and other way around. And also, did you ever see them in the wild, the way they change their colors and how they can contort their bodies? And honestly, I think octopus is an alien. I think they're actually smarter than people, and one day they will take over the world. That's why I'm trying to be friends with them now. I don't eat octopus. Okay. Anyway, so I love octopus. In my work, I actually have recently I've had really cool T-shirts for men as well with octopus. You will see a lot of them. This is also my print. So what I do is like I don't waste any fabric. Whatever I make, any scraps, I always use them.
Okay.
So again, on my website, you will see a lot of things made out of like pieces of fabric or leftover fabrics, like for example this guy as well, because I don't like throwing away fabric. It's just so valuable. Let's see what's in my bag. What's in Janara Jones's bag? Okay, so this is my toiletry bag, which is also Janara Jones.
Nice.
Yeah, very nice. Not for sale.
Not for sale?
Well, I mean, not this one.
Okay.
And this is my
Is that a butterfly or a dragonfly?
dragonfly is my logo. You can see I have a dragonfly tattoo on my wrist as well.
Okay, why the dragonfly?
Oh gosh, a long story. Are you ready for that? It's yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, this is the laptop covers as well that I
Nice.
also have and I sell them, and they can be customized. So I paint on them. So
Okay.
this one is a Black Panther, obviously, but I have others. And very often people would ask to write their names or something specific to them, and I customize a lot of stuff. So this is also all my artwork that was printed on the leather, and now it's my.
How long does that take to make?
This is a digital artwork, and yeah, it also takes a lot of time because there's a lot of details, right?
Yeah.
And then you have to put it all together, and then yeah. So I really like high quality stuff. You know, like for example, I also like using the same thing until it like completely breaks or falls apart.
Okay.
So for example, if you have this laptop cover, you can use it for years and years because you don't have to change it because it doesn't break. You know, that's why it's important for me. The quality has to be very good. I mean, this bag's very heavy and nothing happened to it.
Well, it has a laptop in there and a toiletry bag, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be heavy. And it has an iPad in there as well.
Yeah, and this is my daughter.
Oh, wow.
My daughter is ginger with blue eyes. So I painted her while I was on the phone. I cannot stop drawing or painting on everything. I paint my shoes, I paint my kids' shoes, my water bottles, mugs.
Are these available on your website as well?
Yeah, so a lot of the things can be customized, custom painted. I also do actual paintings,
Okay.
but only by order, because I have no way to store them if I keep painting. So basically, as an artist, I feel like, you know, there's really no limit to what you can do. Yeah, because absolutely everything had to be designed, like everything. Your T-shirt, this mic, you know, this little table, the mug, everything had to be designed, right?
Yes.
So, you know, they say now, oh, AI is going to take over all the creative jobs. But, oh God, it's so hot, I'm sweating. Oh, this is also one of mine, by the way.
How convenient. Yes.
Yeah. So you can also purchase. Now, for the hot summers in Dubai, you absolutely need to have a Janara Jones fan. It's so good. It's also good quality, you know, bamboo, wood, and my art as well. So what I was saying? What was I saying? I was talking too much.
I think that says it all. Thank you, Janara, for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. This was great.